Welcome to Music Live from the BBC World Service. I'm Sigrid. I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm from a little town in Norway on the west coast. It's called Ålesund. This is going to sound so braggy, but big moments for me so far has been to play Glastonbury, Coachella. I've played everywhere. I've been touring a lot. I've released a lot of songs. I have an old album out. I've been working on new music. You're listening to a playlist I've called Home for the Holidays. And the theme for this is that I just wanted to make a playlist that would put you in a bit of a festive mood. And Christmas and the winter holidays can feel quite a lot. So I've made this playlist to try to calm everyone down a bit and myself. So it's just songs I always come back to just chill a bit. I'm starting the playlist with Lizzie McAlpine, Erase Me, featuring Jacob Collier. American singer-songwriter Lizzie McAlpine released a single in November 2021, and it features Grammy Award-winning musician Jacob Collier. And I chose this track because I just showed up on my Spotify one day and I was like, wow, this is so good. It felt like that song it's intellectual, it's intriguing, and it's exciting, and it has all these details, but at the same time, it's hooks after hooks. And I can listen to it over and over again and I don't get tired of it. And it's so smooth, silky smooth. So this is Erase Me by Lizzie McAlpine featuring Jacob Collier. You're listening to the BBC World Service and this is Music Live with me, Sigrid. That was Lizzie McAlpine, Erase Me, feat Jacob Collier. I've chosen some music for you today in a playlist I've called Home for the Holidays. And up next is Both Sides Now by Score. Score is a Norwegian singer-songwriter and actually a good friend of mine, and this is her cover of Joni Mitchell's classic song, which was originally released in 1969. Score's version was released in November 2021 to celebrate the 50-year anniversary of Joni's album Blue, which is, surprise, surprise, one of my favorite albums of all time. I chose this track for the playlist because, one, I always love to highlight Norwegian music whenever I can. I think Score is one of the most talented acts coming out of Norway. And let's not forget that Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell featuring in Love Actually, that scene must be top 3 most heartbreaking scenes in movie history ever. So this is Joni Mitchell's song, Both Sides Now, covered by the lovely Score. You're listening to the BBC World Service and this is Music Live with me, Sigrid, and my playlist Home for the Holidays. That was Score with her version of Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now. Up next, we have another Joni Mitchell classic. It's River. This was released on the Canadian singer-songwriter's 1971 album Blue. And this track, I remember, was my absolute favorite song on the album Blue. It was an album that was being played in my childhood home the whole year, and River was the one I loved. It starts with a little bit of a jingle, and then it veers off in this beautiful, melancholic, bittersweet Joni Mitchell classic. It's absolutely wonderful. So this is Joni Mitchell with River. You're listening to BBC World Service, and this is Music Live with me, Sigrid. That was Joni Mitchell with River. I've chosen some music for you today in a playlist I've called Home for the Holidays. And if you're late to the party, my little holiday party, I've basically made this playlist to get us all into this mood. And I'm hoping this playlist can just be a little easy break. Up next is The Night We Called It a Day by Chet Baker. Jazz trumpeter and vocalist Chet Baker recorded his version in 1957, but it wasn't released until 1995 on his album Embraceable You. Chet Baker has this incredible vibe to his voice. The vocals, it's just like silk. It's soothing, it's calming, but it's never boring. I don't know, you really get transported into his dream and his incredible talent. I found this song on the record, Embraceable You, when I was home with my family, and I grew up in this little town with my parents and my siblings. And I remember walking up to that CD library and trying to look at what my parents were listening to and it's probably not good. But then I found this record. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. So yeah, I remember this being home, maybe Christmas Eve even, and we put this record on. So this is The Night We Called It a Day by Chet Baker. You're listening to BBC World Service, and this is Music Life with Sigrid and my playlist called Home for the Holidays. I am a Norwegian singer-songwriter, and that was Chat Baker with a track called The Night We Called It a Day. We're almost at the end of my playlist, so thank you so much for being with me, and I really hope you've enjoyed this music. It's one of my favorite things to make these playlists, so I've had a really great time making it. Thanks so much to the team here, Ashley Clivery, Katie Hills, and Rachel Gill. I'm Sigrid, and I have a new song out. It's called Home to You This Christmas. Going on tour next year. I'll be super busy. I'm incredibly excited to see all of you as quick as possible. I really miss doing big shows. So yeah, thanks so much for listening. I've had a really lovely time. Head to the website for more discussions and playlists, bbcworldservice.com/musiclife. Up next is a song called Turn Me On by former Music Life guest Norah Jones. This song was originally released by Mark Dinning in 1961. Norah Jones released her version in 2003 on her debut album Come Away With Me. Such a classic. It appeared in the classic festive film Love Actually, everyone's favorites. So, Turn Me On, Norah Jones. I love that song, and it's one of her more, should we call it sultry? One of the more sensual ones on her album, and I just always appealed to me. I love that one. Yeah, I love her personality coming out in that song. And I remember Norah Jones, Don't Know Why, was one of the first songs I ever covered. Norah Jones has been really important for me in my music upbringing and been a big inspiration. So, enjoy. You're going to hear the real deal. This is Turn Me On by Norah Jones. You're listening to the BBC World Service, and this is Music Life with me, Sigrid, and my playlist Home for the Holidays. That was Norah Jones with Turn Me On. You can listen back to Norah's Music Life episode wherever you get your podcasts. I've been asked to finish off the playlist with one of my own songs. It's also a shameless plug if we're being completely honest. So I'm choosing my own, Home to You This Christmas. This is a newly released festive version of my 2019 ballad, Home to You. It's a song that I wrote together with Steve Mack in London, and we were just sitting by the piano one day. We were talking about our childhood, having kids, growing up. It's a song about wanting to see the world, and I remember that growing up in a very tiny town on the west coast of Norway called Ålesund. 50,000 people live there. I was like, I want to go out, see the world. But when you get out and you see the world, it's great. It's amazing. I've seen so many great things, but I'm just such a homebody. I can't wait to go home every time. I love being home, and going away from my hometown has really made me realize how much I love it. And I also think that Christmas time or just the winter holidays can be quite lonely for a lot of people, and it's not always easy. Can be a lot of pressure around it as well, of like how you feel like, but you have to look like you're having such a great time in Christmas and posting on Instagram and all of that. And this song is just a virtual big hug, and I'm sending all my love to all of you. And if you are celebrating at this time of year, happy holidays. So this is me, Sigrid, with my track Home to You This Christmas.